When I think about the role of a trustee, of an Indigenous trustee especially, it's to look out for and honor the rights and privileges of Indigenous peoples in relation to education. We operate it in a traditional way. I try to chair it in a way so that the communities are very welcome there and they feel like we're really listening to them when they're bringing forth ideas and things. So I think sometimes I let the discussions go. I try not to filter them too much because I think it's important that people feel like they're being heard and that they're being listened to. The new trends in Indigenous education, they bring to the forefront Indigenous ways of being, doing, and learning, but also those ways can benefit all children. So I think if we embrace and we include Indigenous perspectives in the education system, then what happens is it transforms the education system for all children and all kids. I try hard to be the voice of the communities and what they're doing and what their needs are, but I try to do that in a very collaborative way. I think with the Indigenous trustee, it's really just having the communities support you and believe in you, and then that's done through different chiefs and councils and their education directors sending letters to the school board. It's easy to just highlight issues and concerns or bring up problems all the time, but it's much more difficult to offer solutions. So I see my role in that as bringing forth solutions from the community. Traditionally, we weren't asked our opinions as First Nations people on education, but now the opportunity is there. And so as a trustee and that elected official, the communities have to have faith in you that you can actually do that on their behalf and do it in a good way, in a positive way, so then it benefits our kids in the long run. I do think that we're generally relational people, and we value relationships and we value positivity. So when you come to a place like a school board where you're the only Indigenous person, your perspective is very unique there, and it's very important because of that, because others are not going to have your reality. But you got to balance it, and you have to be diplomatic, and you have to be collaborative in the way that you work with people. It's not necessarily a negative thing. It's not that when we're having discussions that are very specific to Indigenous peoples, it's easy to get offended sometimes in the way that people articulate their feelings. But I think you have to really take deep breaths in those situations and then think about where it's coming from. So for me, I never fit into the education system. I never did well. That's what I bring to the table. I come as a disenfranchised person who's managed to get himself to the point where I work within the education system formally now. But I can bring my point of view as a student, as a professional, to that table and share that point of view with people and share stories about that. That's the way we transform things, right?